Hey, I think we're live. All right. Um, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this edition of Ask Anything. Now, again, normally Pastor Josiah is here. He is on vacation. He will be back next week. But we are excited. We have a very special guest. You know her well. I will let her introduce herself and her role.
Hi, guys. My name's Amanda Allen, and this is my daughter, Isabel. We call her Miss Izzy. Sorry for her crazy hair today. It's a little humid outside. I work with the Grace Kids team as the early childhood director, so I focus on birth through age 5 or kindergarten.
Well, we are excited to have you. I'm also joined with my buddy. This is, what's your name?
Noah.
This is Noah Matthews. He's 5. But just wanted to reiterate to anybody who's watching, comment any questions you want. Subscribe our YouTube channel too, like even on the Facebook page, notified. The more engagement that we have with you, the better, because what we want to do with Grace Kids is to equip families as much as we can. So the more that you're getting notified of different updates, the better it is, okay? So, all right, let's jump into it. Let's see if we have any questions. You might hear it. Everybody. There we go. All right, you heard it. Okay, so the first question that we have is for you, Miss Amanda. That people watching wouldn't know about you.
Something you wouldn't know about me. I'm thinking many people might not know that I'm also a board certified music therapist. So before my life with Grace Kids, I worked as a music therapist in like adaptive schools. So, but I still have that certification.
That is really cool. We're trying to get that involved with Grace Kids somehow. So be on the lookout for that in the future. Tell us about your husband. How did you and Gary meet?
Oh boy, we met in high school. We actually met in show choir because we were, the choreographer assigned us as like lifting partners. So we were like one of the couples that did like all of the weird lifts where like the girl sits on the guy's shoulder and everything. So, and he at the time had a girlfriend. So it was like, it was a little awkward, but that is how we officially met.
She was the only girl in show choir that lifted the guy.
Yep.
I'm joking. That did not happen.
Dang. What school was it?
Mid Park High School. That's now Brea Mid Park High School.
Brea Mid Park. That's exciting. So like, how did the conversation start? Was Gary just like, hey, I'm gonna dump this girl?
I hope she's not watching. No. I mean, maybe. I remember the day that he came up and told me that he no longer had a girlfriend.
Tell the previous part, how you had a crush on me.
I did not have a crush on him.
No. And if you don't know Gary Allen is the director of curriculum for Grace Kids. He edits and produces all those videos that you guys see online. He's doing an amazing job for the team. So that is all right. So one of the questions that came in today was, have you done any mission trips? And if so, where and what did you do on the mission trip?
I have been to mission trips like in Cleveland at different churches, and we would like prepare meals and pack lunches. And we did one where we went and like helped clean the kids area. But I have never been on like a far away one, which is something I've always kind of wanted to do, but a little nervous at the same time. I'm not a big traveler. I've never been further than like South Carolina. So traveling like far away is a little intimidating to me.
I don't think that's bad. I think there's I think certain people are called certainly to like different countries for mission trips. But I think there's the tendency to say there's no mission here. It's just for different countries and everything like that. So as long as we as Christians know that mission isn't just overseas, it's within our own neighborhood, then as long as we're fulfilling that, then praise God for that. Mm-hmm. For me, we've been all over the place. We went to Jamaica, Canada, um, California, Philadelphia. We've done a lot of good things. But that just like going door to door, inviting people to the church and doing vacation Bible schools for churches in Jamaica, which was really fun. And then most importantly, I think there was one where we're actually helping the church staff at one of them and kind of grow and just disciple them and tell them about just different ways to work on the church and stuff. So it's been really encouraging going on mission trips for us and getting to tell other people about Jesus and seeing kids and stuff. So that's really cool. Came in from J.O. Oh yeah. He wanted to know who is your favorite U.S. president?
I read this one.
Favorite U.S. president?
I am like not a history buff by any means. So like I've never thought about that question. And like I could name like a president, but I would have no reason of why they were my favorite. That's like a really bad answer. Sorry, Jo.
Well, I don't think you're alone on that one. I don't think many people could name more than 10 to 20 presidents personally.
Right.
Because usually presidents are remembered for their conviction and their beliefs and like taking a courageous stand. I saw this whenever he posted like an hour ago, whenever it was. I picked Theodore Roosevelt. I'm from Long Island, New York, and he's pretty big up there. He was tough. He was tender. He loved to read. He loved nature, helped create like the national park system, which is. But I also like the fact that he was elected to be president, not because of like a political view, but because of his integrity, which is pretty cool. Like he was known as being a great man. So Theodore Roosevelt, but they're all sinners. They're all bad in their own way, you know?
For sure.
So having a favorite, I don't know about that. All right. He also wanted to know what was the best fast food and casual restaurant?
That's another tricky one. I love like ice cream and chocolate. So like Frosties at Wendy's are awesome because they're just like so simple. There's nothing fancy about them. But I love like if I'm actually like eating somewhere, not just for dessert, I really like Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I don't see, that's why Chick-fil-A is the best, because I didn't even consider them fast food for a second. Like Chick-fil-A is really good. And for casual restaurants, we just moved to the area, so we don't really like know like the secret spots, but we really like Maya.
Yeah.
You know, so like we just
that's a good place too.
Good local place in Berea that we like going to. All right. This one's good. This one gets a little personal too. Share a time where God connected with you in an unexpected way. Was there a time that God
I guess the biggest thing for me would be like I was working in the school and pretty happy, and like that was my 5th year with that organization. And then the doors kind of just opened up and God was kind of just moving in my heart to go back to kids ministry, like full-time and not part-time. Because I felt when I was part-time, I did my best, but I could never really fully like give myself to the ministry. So when those doors opened up, it was kind of like, okay, here I go. Like it was very unexpected, but it kind of just all worked out. So it was very interesting how God kind of put us, the whole team, the current team kind of just built it out of like, nobody kind of knew that was going to happen.
I had an answer in my head, but like as you were talking, I think, yeah, the whole team, the Grace Kids team, just God really orchestrated to bring us all together at the same time. And it is unexpected, because if you would have asked me a year ago if I'd be in Ohio, that's crazy. It was unexpected, but I think all of our stories is like, how is God going to use us in ministry? And he brought us part of Grace Kids. So I actually did want to kind of go over, that's a good segue for the next question, but how do you think God has worked in you since coming on staff at Grace?
I think like building into people, like not like the team that we have, like working with Kristen and Lizzie and Gary and Liz Wu and you just like working with other people that have the same mission has been like really cool because I've been able to like build more personal relationships with the team. And then also like working with volunteers at like a deeper level has been really cool.
Yeah. For me, I'd say more ways than one, because this is, again, just coming out of state, coming from a church plant for 10 years and just being in a totally different environment for us, has stretched us in so many ways, but like not even a negative stretching, but like in regards to making us better. And I don't know, I love our team so much. And I don't want this to be like a session where we're just like hyping up Grace Kids, but you and I both are on the team, so it's easy to talk about. But the and the drive that comes with our team is encouraging. It's not like we work so well together, and when you, even in churches, sadly enough, you don't always have that cohesive working together like purpose. Like even on our team, we're so different, but we really share why we're doing what we're doing, and it's just fun to be a part of. So I don't really have an answer too for that, but like that's what I would say. It's fun to be on this team.
Yeah, it's cool that like you were saying we're so different, but like but we're so willing to like accept each other's differences. So when somebody has an idea, we're like, yeah, that's a great idea. I never would have thought of that. And like we're all okay saying that, which is really, really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. And not to, throw props to like the leadership team, but like they put this team in place and they saw different gifts, Scott Lessing is amazing how he created that culture, and it just bleeds into the rest of life stage.
Mm-hmm.
We're together for the gospel true on this team, what it takes. So it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. So one question did come in, and it says, name something that's on your bucket list. I don't know. I'll give you some time. I don't know if I don't really have a bucket list.
I don't either.
Like I don't know, like I'm, as much as like retirement sounds really cool too, like I don't know, we're just living my life and doing what we want when the time comes. And I mean, I'd love to travel more, but it's not like I'd still be satisfied if I didn't, I suppose. That sounds really sad. But I'm happy with my family, and I would like to travel more, if anything, maybe. But
yeah, like I said, traveling makes me super anxious. So even going like on a weekend trip, I get so anxious about just every little detail. So like, even though it sounds awesome, like I'd almost rather just stay home and do like nothing instead of like having to plan everything out. Hi.
Yeah. But yes, I don't have anything for my bucket list. I just like doing stuff, and if something pops up, then we'll consider it, and yeah, go from there. Okay. This question is, what can Grace Kids provide for families during this time? Can Grace Kids provide? I'll let you go because you are killing it with trying to get resources into the hands of parents.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is like communicate with us and what we can do to help the families. Because if there's something that we could be doing that would really, really help and we're not doing it, like let us know, because we would love to, do things that are going to most benefit families at home, even though we can't be in person.
Boom, that was so good. I mean, we could say the social media pages or activity packets that get put in front of the buildings. Starting tomorrow on Fridays, we're going to be sending the activity packets online that you can print out at home, so you don't have to come to our locations, each campus. But yeah, if you let us know, we are more than willing to be able to foster our resources in ways that specifically helps each family. So the more that you guys talk to us, the more we'll be able to equip you guys, which is really cool.
Sure.
All right. This is the first theology question. I guess question came from the Bentleys. What's your favorite Veggie Tales? Favorite Veggie Tales.
Question. I guess I don't have a specific VeggieTale like episode, but I just love the music. It's so catchy. Just find myself like listening to the music all the time and singing it.
For me, I've never seen VeggieTales. I have no idea. I'm sure I've heard their songs, perhaps. We've never watched VeggieTales, not because we have anything wrong, but it literally just, it never happened. So we never watched it. I wish I can give an answer, but sorry about that. All right. Next question that came in, it says, believing that there are angels around us, could they be seen by some people? And by that, could angels be considered ghosts by evil angels who believe in ghosts? Pretty deep question. I will say, can angels be seen? Yes, sometimes. You see that in Genesis chapter 19, that they appeared. In regards to what the disciples believed, like they actually early on in their faith did believe in ghosts. I mean, when Jesus came to him and he saw him on the water, like, wow, this is a ghost. Or even when he came back, you know, when he resurrected, they were like, what is this? It's a ghost. And he's like, no, feel this. I'm not a ghost. So I'd say ghosts are not real people. After we die, we cannot come back, Luke chapter 16. So if we did see ghosts, it's not people. If anything, it's more manifested demonic kind of activity. But no, I don't believe in ghosts. That's my answer.
Actually, ghosts are not real. They're just actually
in movies. It's a hard concept too, because when you hear angels and like spiritual beings, like immediately like we think of ghosts, but there's a lot of, I don't know, just historical or cultural, I don't know, backing of ghosts that is not necessarily biblical, but contextualized, they all believed in ghosts, even the disciples early on.
Some people don't believe in ghosts, but they're actually not real. Like, you just see them in movies and you dream about them, but they're not actually real.
Hi, Iz.
Do you think Izzy's a ghost? She
Thanks.
just appears out of nowhere.
Another question came in. How many times have we gone to the grocery store to get out of the house? You can go.
I don't think I've ever gone if I don't need something, especially recently. Like I'll just wait until we need like a good list and then we'll go. It's been kind of funny because when we run out of something specific and we need it like for a recipe or something, I'm like Googling what you can substitute for that specific item. And I have found that there's a lot of things you can substitute for a lot of other things.
We just, most of the time we do shipped orders, you know, just like have it delivered to the house. My wife goes a lot more than me. I'd say, I mean, we probably go to the store maybe like once a month, maybe. But if anything, we'll use the shipped resources where they deliver all the food for us. All right. Next question. What has been the biggest shift for you since COVID began? Biggest shift for you since COVID began?
I would say all the technology stuff. Like I know how to use a computer and a cell phone, but I was never like, I didn't have a YouTube account. I didn't know how to upload videos or edit videos. So I think that's the biggest shift is like upping my game on technology things.
Yeah. Man, I'm sure every church is feeling that way. Like we instantly became like video editors overnight. Stuff like not knowing any of that stuff.
Videographers.
Yeah. I'd say the biggest shift, because like when you're in person at church, there's so much going on and there's so much to do. What's important in ministry and really focus like what really matters and stuff that we need to do or stuff that we can just not do anymore. We don't need to do. So I think all of this has allowed us and the team to like refocus just really what's important, what takes up the most amount of time for the best impact. Okay. What keeps you and your mind focused on mission and discipleship despite not being together as a church?
I think still hearing from families and kids. Like I get a message or a text or a phone call, and it's just encouraging us that they're using what we're providing, and that it just makes me more motivated to keep going.
Yeah, and I mean it has to. It's like a contradiction. I said this last week when I was talking to Jo. Like it feels like there's, we're called to be in community in Scripture, but also our government's saying, hey, no, be careful with that, But mission doesn't stop regardless if we have a church building or not. And Christ isn't done working in his church yet. So regardless if we're meeting, we are still called to the Great Commission to make disciples. So in this season, it is going to be reaching out to people, like you said. Like we have to be the church to do that in a different way. So it might not be in person this time, but a phone call can really help somebody out in this season. Letting them know that you're praying for them, or send a letter. Like, how cool would that be if you got a letter in the mail? Like it's going back years, but it's like that's probably pretty impactful to get a handwritten letter. So there's different ways that you can keep up on people and disciple them and just check up and see how they're doing. But just because we're not in the church doesn't mean we can stop being on mission. Can't. All right. We're almost, wow, this is, and I love it.
Yeah.
Favorite version of the Bible? Do you have a favorite version of the Bible, or what version do you read?
I am currently reading NIV. This might be a
I know Grace Church uses NIV. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You were frozen, so I didn't know if you were talking. This is going to be a real weird, maybe like comment, but sometimes I'll look up the kids version of the Bible. Like there's a few different ones. But sometimes I just like to see like in super simple language, like how a verse is translated for a child. So sometimes I'll if a verse is like super complicated or like confusing, I'll just ask, like, translate to one of the kids' versions.
That's a really good answer. And that's the benefit to the different versions of the Bible, because you get to see how different words are translated. Mm-hmm. I personally use ESV, the English Standard Version, and the Holman Christian Standard Version. So I like both of them typically, but that's just what I'm used to. But I think going to different resources, versions of the Bible to help you understand is probably what we should be doing, because one specific version isn't more right, I guess. I mean, in some ways, but I think when you have different versions of one passage, it gives you a broader understanding of that translation. It's good. All right, so we have 2 more questions.
And then we're all done.
You want to get out of here already? Man, this kid.
If you wanted to.
No, I want to stay. All right, what is one way for families to connect with Grace Church, considering our unknown future or opening? What would you say to them?
That, like I was saying before, just reaching out to us. Like, you can call us, text us, email us, send us a message on Facebook, or through Planning Center. Just any way that you can find to connect with us, and like let us know what you're going through, what we can pray with you with, ideas that you might have. Picking through laundry.
Yeah.
I think just trying to keep the communication open and knowing that we want to communicate with you. So
yeah, I'd say the same answer. Just reach out to us. That's how we connect. I mean, there's a lot of people at this church, so for us to go out to every single person. But if you come to us, we'll totally take the time out to be able to walk with you or give resources to you, printouts, questions, anything to help you and the family during this time.
I actually like walks.
You like going for walks?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. But I mean, even Pastor Tom Sefik is providing good resources for marriages and everything like that. The high school is doing great things. Jordy is amazing about how he's getting the students involved more too. So you'd be surprised how much we're doing if you're actually looking for it. So I would just say, look for it. All right, last question, and then it looks like we're all done.
Yep.
If you can describe your perfect day, what would it be?
My perfect day. That's a tricky question because I feel like it depends on like the weather and our mood. But I would say waking up like just a little bit before Izzy does to give us a little bit of time before she gets up. I like coffee in the morning. Gary does not like coffee. So I would want a cup of coffee. And then I would say just like hanging out with family or friends, like doing
coffee?
simple. Who likes coffee?
I said I don't like coffee.
You don't, well, you should hang out with Mr. Gary then.
What would you do after that, once your morning gets started?
I would say hang out with friends or family, going for a walk or going for like a picnic or just something simple that's with, close friends and family.
Yeah, I'm pretty simple too. Wake up before the kids, definitely. Having coffee, reading, and then once the family starts to get going, spend the day outside, barbecue, relax. That's a perfect day. Getting to play with the boys and stuff like that. But pretty simple. We're not exciting.
I
But
never had a picnic before.
you've never had a picnic? We had a picnic the other day. We got ice cream and we laid on the grass.
That was actually not a real one.
Not a real picnic.
It's
Get
not
out of
a
here,
picnic.
boy.
We actually
Well,
never
come
had
hang out over here. We'll have a picnic.
You want to go there and hang out with them?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's it for this week. Did you want to have any closing statements, Amanda?
I don't think so. I'm not good on the spot. I don't.
That's all right. Me either. Well, we are excited to hopefully see you guys soon, but we will keep you posted as soon as we get any information. But keep on reaching out to us. We would love to talk with you, pray for you any way we can. But until next week, God bless and take care.
Bye, guys.